InHouse and Screen Queensland, funded films, and then from there it's now making the change to feature films.
Okay.
So natural progression.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, one is getting underway, is it?
It is. We're in pre-production now, doing a lot of location scouting, and we're location scouting here in Logan. Also, as far as Sunshine Coast, west of Toowoomba, Gold Coast, Lamington National Park. We have a lot of locations.
Okay.
We have a composer on board, a lead actress, editor, but yeah, that all-important lead actor, and that's going to be a tough search.
Well said. I'm available. Now, as you're doing scouting for locations, maybe our radio station might be a nice location for something. You've got a scene in that sort of...
Not yet, but I'm sure I could write something. It's the last person on Earth, so it has to be empty.
Okay, can you tell us a bit about the plot?
Yeah,
if that's possible.
The story is a story of redemption. It's about a man who was very abusive to his wife in the past, and through huge circumstances he finds himself the last man on Earth, and before he meets his fate, he has to make peace with his past and find his redemption. So it's a physical and emotional journey to forgiveness before he meets his end.
Right.
Very emotional journey.
There's a female lead there?
Yeah. We've got Nikki J, who's someone I worked with before on a film called True Love. True Love won Best Picture in New York Festival over there. Terrific actress, so she's on board. And it's going to be a tough role for her.
Okay.
I don't envy her, that one.
Excellent. All righty. Now, Robert, you're conducting beginners screenwriting workshops starting on Saturday the 14th of February. Can you tell us, for those that might be attending, what to expect? What can they get out of those workshops?
Yeah, the approach to the course, and it's a year-long course every second month. It's designed to get people writing, because a lot of people have a fear of writing. They're like, I get so many people coming up to me saying, I've got these ideas, and they're all excited, but where do I start? What do I do? And because they're overwhelmed by it, they think, I can't do it. So they never actually begin. So the course is designed to say to people, look, just what you'll get out of it is calm down, let's work through your ideas, let's start putting them together, and by the end of the course you'll have a completed feature film script. So it's for really the beginner, the absolute beginner.
Okay, and it's being held here locally, in fact, in Underwood.
In Underwood, at InHouse Publishing, and they're at Underwood, and that's Ocean Reeves' little operation there. And there's other writing workshops as well. I'm part of it. So, it's going right throughout the year. And
okay, so how can people find out about it, Robert?
They can contact InHouse Publishing or my own website, which is robertbraiden.com.au, and we can give you all the information.
Excellent. Okay, there you go. Now, Robert, what advice would you give to aspiring filmmakers? What have you learnt in your career?
I think the best advice to give to people is just do it, really. There's nothing to stop you from coming up with a story, picking up a camera, even if it's just a beginner, you're just a very young person, get your mobile phone, whatever. You can start shooting, you can do something. There's very cheap or even free editing programs you can download.
Yeah.
A lot of times I find with people who want to do this sort of thing is, again, like screenwriting, they're overwhelmed. How do I do it? What do I do? Just pick up and start learning, and you'll make mistakes, as I did when I was starting out, but just give it a go. And you make that first one, you think, okay, I can do another one, and then down the track you might get funding, or you might get screened at a local film festival. You never know. The point is you've actually got to do it, rather than just talk about it. So my advice is jump in and give it a go.
Okay, excellent. Now, Robert, what made you want to become a film director?
My dad took me to see Star Wars when I was 7, I think it was, back in Sydney, and I'd never been to the cinema before, and it blew me away. And I didn't know how they did it, I didn't know the technology or anything, but I thought, wow, that's a good job. I want to have that much fun. And from there, I just knew from that moment on I wanted to be a director. Even at that age, I knew what a director was. I didn't want to be DOP or producer or anything like that, even though I would be a producer on my movie. All I wanted to do was direct, and it was that film, which I think for a lot of filmmakers sparked that passion, and I haven't given up on that.
Okay. Now, do you think that that actors make good directors? You have a lot of them nowadays, actors jumping behind the camera.
They can do, yeah, that's right. I think because they can see the mistakes that other directors make, and they can see the techniques, they can see the patience that a director has to have, and that's one thing actors need is patience, because they sit around for so long. And you make enough films and you can't help but absorb what different directors will do. You know, there's some directors who just can nail it straight away. They know what to say. They know, because a director has to be a psychologist as well. You're a father figure. You're a, you know, you're a taskmaster. You're everything. And actors who they just soak this up, and when they make that transition, like Ron Howard, for example, Russell Crowe has done it as well, and their efforts usually are very interesting. Maybe not always huge box office, but they're interesting, and that's what we need, is interesting stories.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've been an actor as well. I was an actor for many years, and on stage and screen. So the only reason I got into acting was so I could watch other directors at work and make their ideas.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And of course, when you're the director, you're the boss, aren't you? You've got to tell everybody what to do.
Some producers would disagree. You know, it depends. When you're there, you're the creative force, and you do have to listen to your producer and have a working relationship there. But the job of the director is to be the person who realises the creative vision of it. You know, you've got your producer in the background who's just working the phones and getting things happening. But yes, you're in control. Yeah, that's right.
So what sort of input as a director do you have in, say, the cinematography? Does the cameraman say this is the way it's going to be done, or do you collaborate?
It depends on the relationship that you have. There's some directors who like to leave the cinematography to their DOP, and they'll sketch out a rough idea of what they want, but they'll leave it to their DOP. Others are right there, you know, that you'll have the director behind the camera all the time, you know, little to the left, little to the right, I want a bit more. It depends. There's no rule book to this sort of thing. You're creating something, so it's whatever feels right and works.
Right.
I like my vision, and I like to be involved in every step of it, definitely, especially for my first one.
And because you know, the cinematography sort of sets the mood for the movie, doesn't it? I mean, even in the sort of the colour.
Oh, it's critical. That's right. Yeah, I mean, there's no point having a great script and great actors if it's out of focus. That would be kind of terrible. So cinematography, heavens, and a good camera as well. You've got to have a good camera. There's no point shooting on a dreadful, little old thing that's going to look terrible on the screen. So it's all got to work.
Well, Robert, your writing and directing credits include short films called 9 Miles Beautiful, Falling, True Love, Ink, and The Housewife. And they won quite a few awards too, so that must be
picked up a few, yeah. 9 Miles Beautiful, which I wrote, I'm trying to remember back now, that won the Audience Favourite Award at Brisbane International Film Festival, and at Bondi and a few others. True Love was probably my most successful film so far. That won New Filmmakers Awards, as I said, in New York as well. And it played overseas. I won Best Director for that at Gold Coast Film Festival, and on and on and on. But short films are great. They are a training ground where where you do learn your craft. And I think in short films, you learn if you still want to do it or not. It's like for actors, they've got to. I say to actors, don't just try and get into films first. Get on the stage first, because that's where you learn if you like it and you can do it. If you can do it on the stage, you can do it in front of a camera.
Okay. Now, as you said earlier, you've had your hand in a bit of acting as well, and you actually appeared in Inspector Gadget 2.
That's right. Yeah, I was a rich guy who succumbed to laughing gas when the bad guys broke into this big party, and there's me laughing and falling over and everything like that. So, good fun. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Right. So, Hollywood beckoning, Robert?
I hope so, one day, maybe. I think the thing with films is, don't try to be successful, just try to be significant. Just try to make good work, and those other things like Hollywood and all that may come later. I think if that's just your target and you just want to do that, okay, you may get it, but you might run out of puff. I think just try to make good work and make significant work.
Okay. Excellent. I've been speaking with Robert Braiden. He's our very own local film director and filmmaker, and he's been successful with a number of films. And your current project, One, you're looking for big cinema release for that, or is it more an art?
We're starting to talk to distributors at the moment, and it's all about distribution. When you make a film, you want people to be seen. So yeah, definitely. Even if it's just a very limited release, as long as it gets out there in some way or another. But that's the plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, Robert's conducting beginners screenwriting workshops as well, starting Saturday the 14th of February from 2 till 5 at the InHouse Writers Hub, and that's in Parramatta Road at Underwood. And you can get onto Robert's website, robertbraiden.com.au, and get further details. Thank you very much, Robert, for popping in. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I wish you all the best with your new film.
Cheers, Woody. Thank you.
And don't forget the lead actor role is still...
Oh, yeah. Early mid-40s, please, contact.